round, and man, did he make impact on the inside retaining wall. Was it turn 2? I thought it was 4. But
he hit the inside retaining wall down the backstretch.
Did he ever ton it?
Him and Blaine Perkins. Blaine Perkins, of course, was involved in the mess.
Yeah.
Just that he went around, and then the checkup and all of that turned Blaine Perkins into the outside wall, which then, it started that big flip.
Yeah. Well, good to see that both drivers are okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was texting with Dexter the texter,
Yep.
back and forth with Dex, and he is absolutely okay, and good to see. Man, we've seen some hard hits this weekend.
Yeah.
Some really, really hard hits.
And you want to talk about hard hits? Did you watch the Ranger Danger, or the Danger Ranger
you
at
gotta
Bristol
check
Motor
this
Speedway
out.
on the dirt?
You got to check it out. Junior was showing me before the show.
The Danger Ranger.
Yeah.
Or the Ranger Danger.
Ranger Danger.
One way or the other.
You got to check it out.
McFarland, you just Google it.
Yeah, you got to. It's just amazing. You'll see some trucks flipping and flying. Just amazing. Let's hear from the Xfinity winner. Jeb Burton wins the race in the 27 car. Of course, that's Jordan Anderson's brand new team. He's got 2 drivers, small, brand new, and for them guys to go out, Talladega, and to have won that race is huge for that team. And great for Jeb. He's a dynamite guy. And we got a clip compliments of NASCAR media. And here's what Jeb had to say in the media center at the end of the race.
Yeah, it's been tough. The last couple years, just being in the right situation. And today, when I opened my eyes, I told my buddy Ethan that he does our PR and stuff, and I was coming here to win that race. And I just love racing at Talladega and Daytona. It's a lot of fun. Should have won some other races, but those races I've lost, I've learned a lot. And just been lucky to be in some good cars at these places. And I got a really good spotter, Mike Herman. Him and I are on the same page and worked great together all day. And it's just so huge for our team to be locked in the playoffs, small team. We ran up front all day, too. It wasn't a fluke. The last race we won, it was a rain delay, but we ran up I ran up front all day on that one, too. So the only thing I'm disappointed about, I didn't get to do a burnout. I did a little bit of one, and I went to shift in second gear, and blew the transmission out. So that's the only thing I messed up today. We're doing all right.
But we got a trophy.
Yeah, we got a trophy.
And a playoff spot.
So Jordan sent me a email on Thursday about an invoice he got for me doing something stupid on the racetrack, and I told him I was going to make it up to him. So
this more than makes up for it.
Yeah, so we're all right now.
I didn't even put a comment. I just said FYI.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, I got it.
Here we
screwed
are.
up. I got it.
Well, he made up for it. Congratulations to those guys. Dynamite race, and great to see. Ingo, if you're still tuned in, I'm going to get you to hang up there, Ingo, because Riley can't get in unless that line is free. I just wanted to add that. There's Riley. He just popped in. We're going to hit this quick break, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time with Riley Sievert, winner of that Western Rattler 300 last year. We'll pick away at him and find out what the strategy is this year if he lets us know anything. We'll find out on the other side of the break. Stay with us, everybody.
Hey, this is Kurt Busch, and you're listening to Racetime Radio.
You're listening to Canada Talks on Sirius XM, Channel 167.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by the Quality Inn, Halifax Airport, the official stay of the Racetime Radio broadcast crew.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa Know-How.
It's Canada's kickoff to 2023 at Penticton Speedway. It's the second annual Western Rattler 300 weekend.
If you build it, they will come.
Friday, May 5th, it's qualifying, plus the Street Stock Viper 100 and the WESCAR SNAKEBITE 125. The top three will qualify and move on to the 300. Then Saturday, May 6th, it's the 300 last chance qualifier, plus the Street Stock Venom 100 and the second annual Western Rattler 300. It's Canada's richest to win pro late model event, with $20,000 to the winner. For tickets and info, get to PentictonSpeedway.com or tune in live on Racetime Radio for live flag-to-flag coverage.
Riley Siebert, the winner. This is my own, not coming here to push me around, and this is probably the biggest win of my career.
May 5th and 6th, the best in the business will be at Penticton Speedway at the Western Rattler 300.
Alexa, play NASCAR radio
check,
on Sirius
check.
XM.
Sirius XM NASCAR.
Hang on a sec here. We're going to drop off the recording. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Racetime Radio. Coming to you live from Penticton Speedway out in beautiful British Columbia. We're getting ready to go. It has been raining here literally all day, and track drying efforts have paid off. Looks like the track has come a long way. We just seen some street stock practice, and we're getting ready for tonight's show. Let me introduce you to who we've got on here tonight. Brand new. You've never heard from Stacy, but Stacy is with us. What's going on there, Stace? How you doing?
Oh, I'm actually really, really excited to join you guys here on Racetime Radio. I have come back into the announcing gig. Trevor Siebert, one of the owners of the track here, has invited me down to be his announcer here this year. So excited with that, and starting off with quite a big event here at Penticton Speedway. Tonight we're going to have that Street Stock 100 and the late model qualifying, and then into the Rattler tomorrow. So just looking forward to a good night here. Hopefully the rain will hold off.
Well, welcome to Racetime Radio. You're going to be a good addition, familiar with everything out this way out in BC. Announcer for WESCAR for a while, up there in Vernon. You've been all over the place.
Yeah, WESCAR, formerly the ARCA Series, kind of took me all over the province. I started, funny enough, at Sun Valley Speedway, which turned into Motoplex Speedway up in Vernon, and I had the opportunity to step in for their announcer that unfortunately fell ill one evening, and the WESCAR Series was racing that evening, and that's how I got that gig. They met me in the pits afterwards, and I was having a couple adult beverages with a friend of mine whose races there. and they came to me and they said, "Who's this Rusty guy?" That's the nickname that I go by, is Rusty, because everybody has a hard time pronouncing my last name. And I said, "Oh, that's me. Did I do something wrong?" And they said, No. We just wanted to ask you if you'd like to be our announcer traveling with the series next season, because our announcer unfortunately has to leave. And I jumped at that. I did it for 3-4 seasons. It's a great series. It's a late model series that travels throughout British Columbia. There was a race in Vernon at Motoplex Speedway, and then there was one in Williams Lake at Thunder Mountain, and then Quesnel's Gold Pan Speedway, and then Pagera up in Prince George, and then Agassiz, which is very similar to Penticton Speedway here, quarter mile. It's kind of on a slope. The back straightaway's uphill, the front straightaway's downhill. So, but just a great series. Got to know a number of the drivers. Some of them are here racing in the late model race and in the street stock race that we're going to see here coming up in a little bit. So
yeah, we got qualifying coming at you tonight. Also out here for this year's big 300 weekend, we got the birthday boy himself, Mr. Jerry Paxton. What's going on there, Mr. G?
Oh, we've had a great day celebrating. We're at a racetrack. Well, what could possibly be better as a way to celebrate your birthday than going to the Speedway, especially if you're me?
I know. You're in seventh heaven.
You got it.
You want to believe it. It's going to be a good one here tonight, everybody. We got fans are here. Surprisingly, honestly, with the day that we've had, I didn't expect we were going to get this far. But thankfully, we're going to get some racing, and it's going to start with qualifying.
And you know what? I want to make this clear right now.
Okay.
We came from Ontario. We did not bring this ring.
Oh, no.
There's been a lot of blame. There's been a lot of blame pointed towards you boys.
That's why I want to get this cleared up right away.
We tried to outrun it.
We tried to outrun it. We did not bring it.
No.
Yesterday, by the way, if you're wondering, here in Penticton was 30 degrees with beautiful sunshine. And today, well,
Yeah.
The complete opposite.
It's cold humidity, and it's a lot of it out here. And I got my winter coat on as we speak. Not that it's that cold. I'm just that much of a wimp after having a 30-degree day yesterday.
Yesterday was an exceptionally warm day here, but it's the Okanagan. It was kind of like our fake spring, false spring, and then all of a sudden winter comes back and says, "Oh no, I'm back!"
Yeah.
Knocking on that door. So
yeah,
it looks like late models are going to start rolling out to go practice in here soon.
Yeah, they're going to practice now. We did have scheduled the Snakebite 125 tonight, and I do believe that is not going to happen.
I believe that they have canceled that race, yes. So those were the WESCAR late models, and they've, of course, been just all generally invited to now compete in the Rattler 300 tomorrow.
That's right. And it is going to be a real good full field of late models here for the Western Rattler 300. Jerry, I know all of us were here yesterday watching practice. And, man, we got some fast late models here.
We sure do. And they were having a lot of fun yesterday. As I said, the sun was out. It was 30 degrees. We were having a blast watching those guys slip and slide around. That track was greasy. Then the sun went down, and they went and took another couple of laps. And suddenly, where did all those tenths go? Yeah. When I start seeing times on the clock, under 13 seconds to get around Penticton Speedway, that'll wake you up.
Yeah, fast time yesterday. Went to the number 8 car, Kelly Admiral. He was real quick. Pulled off a 12.7, which is incredibly quick.
That is really quick. And, of course, you know how one guy goes out and does it, and somebody else has to follow him.
Yeah.
So Trevor Siebert went out, and, well, he got a 12.8. He was close.
He was close. He was doing good. Where did you get off to there, Rusty?
I just had to go run into the tower there just for a quick sec to adjust the volume.
You're doing a little bit of volume adjustments.
I don't believe that the speakers at the track were working quite well.
There you go. Yeah, always helps when you put a little gas on that PA.
I think somebody turned down the volume, so for the first 10 minutes of our broadcast, these folks heard nothing.
Oh, they didn't. Well, good evening, everyone.
And we don't charge extra for that.
So I think the volume's loud enough now that the fans will be able to hear us. We'll adjust it even louder as soon as the cars start going. But I accidentally turned down
that channel.
I was working on mic 1 in there. So
it happens. If you are here at the Speedway and, you're going to be here tonight, tomorrow, for the Western Rattler 300, and you have an FM radio, one of these nice little FM headsets, feel free to bring that along, and you'll tune it to FM 93.1. And you'll be able to listen to the broadcast right in that beautiful headset in stereo here at the Speedway. For all the others, you're going to tune into racetimeradio.com. Today, audio only. We're going to be streaming all tonight's action here from Penticton Speedway. And then, of course, tomorrow for the Western Rattler 300 and the Venom 100, you're going to get full video on all of that, as well as audio. So you'll be able to tune in to Rev TV Canada, as there will be live coverage from tomorrow's events right here from Penticton.
So if you're not a subscriber to Rev TV, you've got about 24 hours to get it done.
Yeah, it's a good idea to pick up that subscription to Rev. Also crank on Racetime Radio right off our YouTube channel, and Avion Motorsports. You're going to be able to pick it up there too. So lots of ways, but the best possible way to enjoy this year's Western Rattler 300, if at all possible, would be here with us at Penticton Speedway.
Yeah, we got talking about that earlier today and said, how do you get people out of the comfort of that living room? What do you have to do? And we said, you can't feel it, you can't smell it, you can only watch it when you're sitting at home.
Yep, you got to be at the track.
There's nothing like the rumble of a late model as it goes down the track to get your body shaken.
When you feel it, that's for sure. Some people love the smell of race fuel, the tire, but I think it's the sounds, it's the action. When those cars rumble by and you can feel it, in your chest.
Yeah.
There's something about that. Live sporting events are always 10 times better. I think they're worth it.
You know, I went to a gold medal Canadian junior hockey game. I had gold medal tickets for Buffalo. My brother-in-law, Dwayne, and I went. Man, what a time. It was great. Canada was playing Sweden a couple of years ago. Everybody will remember that game. And Dwayne and I were there live. It was awesome seeing the game live. What I missed was the commentary of the game. It is totally different, right? You're sitting there watching a really, really good hockey game. Would have been kind of cool if we could have heard the guys that I've been watching all week or all tournament call the actual game. Would have been kind of cool to have that. With racing, you can get all of that with the live event in front of you, and you can get the play-by-play as it goes.
We'll try our best to keep up with the play-by-play. There's three of us. We should be able to do it, especially tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That 300-lap race.
Yeah.
With obviously a field of now going to be 25-plus cars with those WESCAR guys rolling into that event.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Riley Siebert, winner of the inaugural Western Rattler 300, Riley's going to have his work cut out for him tomorrow if he wants to repeat. Not saying he can't get it done, because he obviously can, but Trevor's looking faster this year in the 69. Definitely got to be looking at the 8-car with the times that that he laid down.
Kelly Admiral.
Yesterday. Yeah, Kelly.
Kelly laid down some very good times yesterday.
I think the other car you got to keep an eye on is that 42 of Kyle Reed.
Oh, yeah, incredible.
That guy was a rocket yesterday.
Top 3 last year, finished in the 3rd slot with a broken Panhard bar. So imagine what he can do if everything stays together underneath.
With a race car going to pieces and you can still put it on the podium. I'd be watching that pit today to make sure, because if everything's perfect on that race car, that's going to be the guy with the target on his back.
Yeah, beautiful day practicing yesterday for sure. The track conditions weren't 100% ideal, but as soon as it started to cool down yesterday in the evening and those guys went out for their last practices, 4, maybe 5 cars got into the 12-second range with the 12.98.
Yeah.
The 12. I think the fastest one we saw was a 12.77.
Yeah, 12.7.
I'm not sure what the track record is. Being brand new here, I'm not sure what the track record is for one of these super late models, but I believe that it's about a 12.61. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that.
Must have been a sprint car that did it. Like, that's fast around the Speedway. Doesn't matter what kind of car you're in, that there is bullet quick.
And you got to wonder, remember, Trevor told us they did some repairs down in turn 1. They got rid of the little bump that was there last year. And a lot of the drivers, the feedback has been that's changed the whole racetrack.
Yeah, the whole dynamic.
And it's got quicker.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. A lot of them. I came here a couple weeks ago to talk to Trevor and Riley, and I guess that might have been the first time for some of the drivers to go out and just talking to the guys in the pits. They're like, "Oh, the bump's gone.
Yeah.
The bump is gone."
Yeah.
So
seen Wes Mader earlier today. He's staying at our hotel. Wes, of course, driver of the number 10. He sat top of the pole for the 300 here last year. Watching him in practice yesterday, he was turning 13. I'm going to say 3. I kind of had him at a 3. And I said, you got a little bit to pick up. Can you get it out of the car? And he said, yep. The guys are going to work on it. And I know they came out here to the racetrack early today. And I know it's been raining all day, but you got to know that Wes Mader and his team are working awful hard.
He was definitely fast yesterday. He had a really good line around the track. So picking up those couple extra tenths to get down into the 12-second race should be very achievable for that team. Good group of guys.
And everything that they learned yesterday, guys, what's all going to apply? We know one thing for sure. It is going to be cooler here tomorrow than what it was when these guys were practicing. It's considerably cooler, and all the rubber is washed off the track. It's going to get some put back down tonight, but, they had a perfect condition here yesterday. They really did.
Especially when it cooled off in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
But this track's going to be very, very green.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much, 100 laps of these street stocks, but the different tires, I'm not sure how much rubber they're going to put down.
Yeah.
So this 20-minute session coming up for these guys, obviously a number of them are probably going to go out because this is what's going to tell them tomorrow what the car is going to be like.
I think they're going to get a better indication of what the car's going to do off of tonight's 20-minute session then they got off practice all day Thursday. I think.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
The temperature is totally different. The humidity is totally different. And this kind of weather, as we know, when you got nice humidity and a little cool, that's called horsepower.
Yeah.
Those motors love this temperature, this humidity. That's what they want. The wheels, well, the tires might not be quite so happy, but you also got to remember the track will warm up a bit. You got to take care of those little slippers. Because you're going to wear those out in a big hurry because you got a lot more coming out from under the hood. So it's going to be wake up and figure it out. There's going to be some real adjustments to be made, not just to the car itself, but in the driver's mind as well.
And not having the opportunity to practice today as well with all the rain.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of brand new tires hitting the track here for the first time. You know, some guys are probably going to want to scrub some in, and you know what they practice on, or and what they qualify on. They're getting painted.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's
Those
what
cars get parked, and they can't touch them till tomorrow. So you better make sure you got your fastest 4 donuts on there, because they're staying there all the way till tomorrow until that green flag goes.
Yeah, and they are going to run that for the first half of the race. Then they are allowed to pick up new skins if they want. Well, after 150 laps, it's not a question of if you want, I don't think. They're all going to want to stick 4 goodies on there.
That word "if" isn't going to exist.
No, I don't think so. No.
Maybe somebody get really brave and just do right sides.
Just do right sides.
Just do right sides.
How many times, Jerry? We've been calling, late model races for a long time, and I think back to some of the ones we did on the East Coast with the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour. They're all super late models. And I'll tell you what, we've seen guys at a halfway break in a 250 or even a 200-lap race come in that were, on point, leading the race, 2-3 of a second lead, hit the halfway break, come in, take the 4 tires off, put 4 new ones on, go back out, and they drop like a rock. And you wouldn't think, you got brand new skins, you're going to pick up and go faster than what you were in the first section. Not a chance. Some guys, and Craig Slonwhite comes to mind. He went out after leading probably, I'm going to say a good 100 laps, came in, picked up 4 sneakers, back out onto the racetrack, dropped back to like 7th or 8th. Caution came out, thankfully for him, into the pits, and he put his old tires back on that he had in the first segment, went back out, went from the back of the field back up into the top 3. And I don't think he won that day, but he came awful close.
Yeah, I recall that. I was going to mention that one. I've seen guys go out, they come back, and they'll come back on the first caution, put the old tires back on the car because something wasn't right.
Right. So race fans might not know this, but these cars are set up to turn left. So the tires are set by stagger. Right. So maybe you get that wrong set, or they got mixed up. I've seen that happen before, where somebody's accidentally put a left on a right.
Oh yeah.
Put a left side tire on the right side of the car, and it will make the car do horrible things.
Yeah, and the driver's searching in his mind, what's changed?
Right.
And the crew just in a haste has put a left front on a right front, and game on. Right.
It depends also on the tire pressures that they're starting at.
Yep.
These tires, they sit out in the sun all day. They'll actually increase in tire pressures.
They'll grow.
So you have to make sure before you're getting ready to slap those on at a quick pit stop that if you want to start at 17s on the outside and 12 on the inside, you better set those, because if you set them at 8 in the morning and they've been sitting out there since 2, I bet you these are now 23 and those are now 14s.
Yeah. Can make a big difference. I can guarantee you that. We are live from Penticton Speedway, just waiting for, I believe we have late models. They're going to come trackside. They're going to get a 20-minute practice session, and then we're going to start into the street stock qualifying, get into heats and features, and we got a big night coming at you.
Yeah.
And touch wood, everything looks pretty good just right yet.
Yeah, looking at the weather radar on the phone there looked excellent. A lot of the green going away. Penticton crew just down here looking at turn 1, just where the bump used to be. The new paving down there. So
right.
I'm they've got the heater down on it, so maybe just trying to pull some moisture out of it or fix something that went wrong. So
Right.
and then hopefully that'll be done. And then, yes, they'll have the people out there and running their 20-minute practice with the late models. And that'll be a big learning session for those crews.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nice to see Trent Seidel here, all the way from Saskatoon. Driver, the number 70, multiple champion out there at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. Good to see Trent make the tour here for the Western Rattler 300. I'm looking for big things coming up out of that car. He is going to be one to watch in the show tomorrow. I can guarantee it.
He was working at it pretty hard yesterday, trying to get up into that top group, and he wasn't missing it by a lot, but he was missing it, and from away from the car, you could see the frustration.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go to the pit to see it. You could see it coming around the racetrack. So I won't be surprised. As we said, the weather's changed 180 degrees from where we were yesterday. So adjustments to the car, almost we're back to zero. Everybody's going to start fresh.
No doubt about it. Penticton Speedway is definitely different than the track that Trent ran all the time and runs all the time out at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. And Trent hasn't turned a lap here until yesterday. So, yeah, talk about the learning curve. It's there.
Well, coming from Saskatchewan and that track, I've been out to that track. It was formerly called Auto Clearing Speedway, I believe.
Yep.
A beautiful facility. It's kind of like dug into a hole in the ground. Banking-wise, could be similar, especially this corner here. But I think that's, for someone who's never turned laps here before and how this has changed, trying to find the groove. And you could actually see that yesterday. He would slow down, let someone like Matt Stevenson, Trevor O'Reilly get in front of him, and then he would get in behind and say, okay, what line are these guys running here?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's going to help me out. So
even champions learn, right? Every time they're in that race car.
Well, the guys down there in turn one look to be happy. It's hard to tell from this distance.
Yeah.
So
they're having a conference, that's for sure. We see some hands flying and pointing in directions.
Looks like a Penticton City meeting down there, right?
Yeah, one guy working, everybody else watching.
It would appear that one has a fire suit on, so I believe that's going to be the driver of the number 69.
That could be.
I think Trevor's down there inspecting the asphalt job.
Well, he did talk about, I remember, Joe, on the Sunday night show, Trevor was talking about the seams where they repaved and how they were hoping that they were going to stay sealed and
melt
smooth
in.
and so on.
Multiple, waves, both directions in the track.
And it could be we've just got a little bit of water seeping up through those seams because that is...
Yeah, that's the drainage corner, too, right?
The drainage corner.
Speedway.
That's the lowest part of the track for sure. Yeah. Everything goes down that way. So you're right. You could just have it seeping out of those brand new seams, right?
Yeah, they were pointing out to us yesterday, turns 3 and 4 are kind of high and the water drains down towards 1 and 2. That's not to say it pools there. It doesn't. It drains away from there. But it's the fact that, that's where the water goes to. It helps dry the racetrack out because this was one very, very wet racetrack just a few hours ago. Right now, it looks to be in really good shape.
Well, I'll tell you, Penticton Speedway, for any of you race fans across Canada that either have been to this speedway, it has been here since 1969. But I'll tell you, this track hasn't looked this good since probably 1969. The Seabird family have rebuilt this place. And, man, have they done a beautiful job. And the improvements continue to happen.
I was quite taken aback, actually, when I came here. When I came here 3 weeks ago to have the meeting with Trevor and to meet some of the crew from Avion Motorsports and such. And the last time I was here was probably 15 years ago. And the changes are dramatic. And the improvements are just excellent.
Is this a track that you used to come to, like, as a kid?
I grew up down at the coast, so the tracks that I mainly went to would be like Skagit, across the border, which was dirt track, sprint cars. Agassiz was close. It was only 45 minutes away. And then back when I was very, very young, we had Langley Speedway, which is now defunct and a heritage site. But
that's a nice description.
It's unfortunately the way a lot of racetracks go nowadays. And, you know, we had a beautiful facility up in the North Okanagan there with Motoplex, and unfortunately it's now just a dust bowl. So it's nice to see a couple racers like Riley and his dad, the Siebert family, Avion Motorsports, their partners, get together and make this short track functional and bring the fans back out, because short track racing is great grassroots racing. A lot of the street stock guys are very, very local. You look at where they're from, a lot from Penticton, OK Falls.
It's the short track thing. Everybody wants to go to the big racetrack. They want to go to the Talladegas and the Daytonas and the big mile and a half. Oh no, let's come back to the bull rings. That's where real racers are made. If you can drive a race car on something that's tight and close, you won't have any problem going to something larger. You can learn that. But it's kind of, some of the guys who come from other disciplines of racing and they get into a stock car on a short track, and the first comment you hear is, wow, there's a lot of contact. Yeah, that goes with the territory.
Yeah, definitely short track racing is rubbing your best friends for sure. I mean, there probably won't be a car tomorrow that doesn't have the token donut on the outside or the inside.
And you talk about the facility. I mean, here we are. The wall has fresh paint. It looks absolutely gorgeous, nice and white. You can see it in the dark, I think. But right away, somebody's got to put a scar on it. They got to make their mark.
One mark, yeah. Yesterday we had I believe it was the 33 street stock. Now, I'm not sure. We didn't have the opportunity to speak to the driver, but I'm not sure if something broke prior to him hitting the wall, or if he just, when you go up into turn 1 there and turn 2, it looks like from here it banks just completely straight up, but there's actually in that third groove, it will actually flatten out. So if you get too high there, it will take you right around. But the way that it happened, I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye. And it looked like maybe a flat tire and then into the wall. And then definitely after hitting the wall, something broke. But they worked on that car all day long. And looks like they got it back together. So he's here. He's going to be racing.
Yeah, we watched him out there in practice a little earlier. So that's a never say die racer. That is. That's
right. I think that's Spencer Jorgensen.
Yes.
Out of Saskatoon. So
think
long way to come for them. So you know that they wanted to get it fixed up, because that's a long way to come not to race. So good for those boys for toiling on that and getting that all done.
That's determination. I drove all this way. I'm not taking it home broken. For one thing, I don't want to have to explain that to anybody at home.
Very much so.
Well, as we said, we're just kind of waiting to see. They're still working down in corners 1 and 2 here at Penticton Speedway. It looks like they're working on the seams. That's what it looks like to me, and that's just my observation looking down there. But the way that they've moved from one side to the other, it just looks like they're trying to dry out those seams. There might be a little seepage coming up, because it is at the low side of the track, not at the high side.
Yeah, and the two people involved in fixing that bump and paving that corner are down there right now. So both Riley and Trevor are down there. They're in their fire suits. You can see them. They're the ones that stick out the most down there, but they're the ones that did the paving there and fixed that bump. So
well, then they know it's perfect.
They're the right people to have down there.
There was no doubt in their minds it was perfect.
What a picturesque facility. Here at Penticton tomorrow, when you're tuned in, because you're back in Ontario and you're not able to be here, we'll get Kenton to fire those cameras around. You got to have a look. Beautiful mountain setting. I know, Rusty, you and I have been looking at that mountain over there, and you can see it sometimes, and then all of a sudden it disappears. The clouds go right over it.
It's a cloudy day, so yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of white around here right now, and it is shadowing that mountain. But on a beautiful blue sky day, you have a great view over the billboards of turn 1 and 2 here. So it's right at the top of a mountain. If you could get a helicopter ride up here, it is very picturesque from the airport to up to here. It's quite a flight.
Yeah, it would be. I can hear late models firing up. They're rolling.
We're going to get them going.
I think they are anyway.
Looks like a couple guys are going over the scales just to make sure. And then there are a couple lined up, it looks like, against the wall.
We have a couple of East Coast guys out here as well. making some of these cars go quick. Everybody back east knows who Andrew Hicken is. He is here working with the 42, of course, Kyle Reed. And on the 10 meters car, you got Corey Hull here. And Corey, quite an accomplished race car driver, but he also is from King Racing, and he's here helping the 10. So looking for big things out of those two guys.
It's always nice to bring some talent and a second opinion.
Yeah, we always talk about the talent behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And we often forget that there's a bunch of guys in the pit that have tremendous talent. And without them, the guy behind the wheel isn't going to look as stellar.
Right. There's a lot into setting up a race car. It's not just get in and go. There's so many little factors and little adjustments that you can make to that pan-hard bar, tire pressures, shock placements, and their settings, everything to make that thing turn left, and every tenth counts.
Yeah, and you have to remember, too, when you're talking about the tires, like you said, they make an adjustment to a tire. They don't adjust it by 5 or 6 pounds. It might be a pound. It might be a half pound. And it makes a huge difference to the car. And sometimes I think about that with my street car because, you check the tire pressures. They tell you to do it weekly.
Yeah.
Well, I do it weekly.
Yeah. Weekly.
You
just can't remember what the pressure was last week.
No, exactly. But a good friend of mine who's a mechanic and a former crew chief said to me, watch those things. He said, you want life out of your tires? Watch your tire pressures.
Yeah.
And you do. And I found, absolutely, I get better gas mileage. It handles better. It rides better. And everybody that rides with me, and I tell them, it goes, doesn't feel different to me.
We're here seeing the 5-minute signal.
I've just been shown the 5-minute signal from our track director here. So,
and not only do we have influence from other tracks and other series here helping the guys behind the wheel, we've also got them on the Avion and Penticton crew. I see Ian Burgess here from Height Motor Speedway.
Right, Height.
Yeah.
If you've never been to High Speedway, it's one to go and see.
You've been there.
I have been there. My brother lives right up in Dawson Creek, so go over to Grand Prairie. You go right past it, and it is a very, very high banked oval.
Hold on a sec. Dawson Creek, the same. I'm thinking Dawson City.
That's Dawson City.
Creek. Yeah.
But Height is an incredibly high banked little oval and very exciting racing out there.
Well, I seen them on Rev TV actually. That's and I had to get Ian on the program. Had him on a couple times to talk to him. They're getting ready to go for a big season at Height for this summer.
It should be pretty exciting out there. I've only seen one race out there, and I caught about the last 30 minutes of it. But I tell you, I don't go up to see my brother too much to Dawson Creek because it's quite a long drive, and it's even a more expensive flight to get up there. But if I was up there and there was racing on, I would make that drive from Dawson over to Height. It's probably an hour away, hour and a half.
Pretty amazing. We can hear some engines in the pits, so they're definitely warming them up, Jerry.
I can tell the drivers are itchy to get out here. When you've sat all day because it's raining and you can't touch the car and you can't do anything with the car but look at it, it's frustrating. And especially when you go, gee, the weather's changed. I'm going to have to make some adjustments to this thing. I need to get on the racetrack. You'll have to wait.
Yeah, you're definitely scared to make any adjustments prior to being on the racetrack, especially after coming off of yesterday where it was so hot. You just don't want to blindly start turning bolts and saying, well, geez, I hope this is better now. You want to get some laps under your belt today.
If you're planning a trip out here to the West Coast and you're coming out here this summer, Penticton Speedway is a really good spot for you to put on your calendar and a place to stop and see. You can get to their website. All the information's there. Full calendar of racing all summer long, right into, I believe, either the end of September, beginning of October. But if you get to PentictonSpeedway.com, you'll be able to check it all out. Everything from, some of the best races. You're going to see sprint cars and late models, and there's street stock class, of course. And you want to come out and see these RS1 Cup cars.
They race here twice.
They race here. They race at Area 27 just down the road. Lots to see and do in Penticton, but definitely stop by the Speedway and check it out. If you're coming out on holidays, you got to stop here and check
And the
it.
monster trucks. After this event is the monster trucks. Apparently a huge fan favorite down here.
They love it. And I'll tell you, the first exposure I had to Penticton was on Rust Valley. Love watching that show on History. And they did a hit to pass, and it was at Penticton Speedway. Now, it was the old configuration. It was before Trevor and Ingo and everybody at the Speedway took and fixed this place all up. But that's how I found out about Penticton Speedway, and I'm sure glad I seen it then, because, you know, watching it there on that show compared to what we see in front of us here today, oh, man, two totally different places.
Agreed.
And they've rolled that equipment off the racetrack, so the work down in turn 1 is completed, and everybody walked away from it. So they're apparently happy that they've got what they want down there, and it looks like the late models are going to get their practice session.
So I think they were told that they would have a 20-minute session, so give them that, and then I think we're going to try to go as quickly as possible into National Anthem. We have one of the racers' wives who's going to sing for us tonight, Charlene Coles.
As long as it's not you, me, or Jerry.
It's definitely not going to be
listeners.
me. Definitely not going to be me.
No, I shouldn't say that. We just met, Rusty. I shouldn't be calling you out. But
I am not a singer.
No?
No.
No. I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
I'm right there with you. Right there with you, Joe. Right there with you.
I love radio.
Well, we know one thing. Karaoke's off the docket.
Yeah.
I can see cars rolling around in the pit, but I don't hear any engines fired, so we'll see what happens next year as they get rolling along.
Who I missed today? Matt Shirley. I don't see the number 12. I was really hoping Matt Shirley was going to be able to make it from Saskatoon. Matt did such an incredible job in this race, and I'll tell you, nobody was more brokenhearted than Matt Shirley. He really wanted to do this race, and he had to work.
He had to work.
Yes, he has to.
Well, there's
training or something. They were sending him, flying him away, so he couldn't back out of it to make the race. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. He was some disappointed, but work comes first.
Well, you have to make the money to be able to spend it on this sport.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of these cars are going to be sponsored and have lots of stickers and decals all over them of their sponsors where they get some money from. But a lot of the money comes out of the racers' pockets and the team owners' pockets. So work definitely comes first.
Now, could this be, I see Ellie Dunseith on the racetrack in that beautiful 31.
Possibly we've gone right into qualifying?
And that could very well be. I would think so. I see a time on the board, 16:284 for the 31 for her first lap. Wow.
Picked it up a bit there, 15.776. So what we were told is how it's going to come out is the driver's going to come out and do one lap at a slower speed, and then they get one warm-up lap and then two timed laps.
Well, she just picked it up again, a 15.552.
So the 15.552 looks to be her best lap there.
She definitely got all that 31 car has. Good laps.
Hard to be the first person out there on a green track to set qualifying.
Yeah.
They just finished working down in the turn. I wonder what they did. I wonder if it's okay. Can I go barreling in there?
Yeah. So that is the 31 sitting atop of the board. Only one car is gone, the 31, so far. But
we'll have to wait and see.
What do we take away from this, Rusty? If we take anything away, I guess the first lap is going to be the slower one if you go by the 31.
Yeah, the race director told me earlier what they were going to plan on doing was, we have the 52 coming out on the track right now. So don't have a lot of information on this car, so we'll have to figure that out. But he's going to be given 1 lap to go around. 52. Just to warm up his tires, right. Do whatever he wants to do.
Bring up the temperature.
Yeah, bring up the temperature because it's a little bit cold.
And we're not seeing a white flag.
Nope, not yet. So now so 1 slow lap, just get yourself going. Now he gets his warm-up lap, and then he will have 2 timed laps. So he should get the green this time by.
He's got company, though, on the track. The 37 is out there, too. So that's,
maybe just practice then. Maybe they're giving him another practice to test the track out?
Could be. I'm
going to take a short break, and I'm going to go into the shack and find out exactly what's going on, and I'll let you two talk.
When in doubt, ask questions.
I'm about to go do that.
Rusty, the man on the job, you can guarantee it. Nice to see, though, Jerry. We got a couple cars on track. Now 3 of them out there. 54 wants to jump into this practice session. But when I look on the board, I see a 14.85.
Well, I think they're set up to do the timing.
Right.
But what we've got is practice, because I think the repairs they made down in turn 1 had some effect on the practice. That's probably what drew their attention to it.
Yeah.
So they had to fix it. Now they're giving a little bit of practice to make sure everything's good, and away we go. Because I am seeing a yellow flag in the starter's hand.
Right.
So we'll see how long he lets them run. But nice to see the timer is working, because we're looking at some laps in the 14.7 bracket. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I would say. Rusty, the man with the news, is on his way back to us now.
Right. So a little bit of a change in the schedule because of that little repair they had to do down there. They had to shorten the street stock practice. So this is now their extended portion of their practice.
I got you.
After this timed practice, the late models will come out for their 20-minute session.
Okay.
Right after that, then we will roll into qualifying.
Okay.
Which should be 1 lap to come out for us to announce the person.
Okay.
Second lap is going to be their official warm-up lap, and then 2 timed laps.
2 timed laps after that.
We'll play it by ear, though.
Okay. We're with you all the way.
I've learned a long time ago, there are plans, and then there are what happens.
Yes.
At a racetrack, it's trust me, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, when the weather does what it's been doing, I'm just simply amazed we're seeing anything here right now.
I am right there with you, because the way that the radar looked this morning, I thought it was going to be a green patch over Penticton all day long.
Well, yeah, it looked biblical if you looked at any kind of forecasting. And, earlier, Ingo walked by and he said, it's going to clear. I said, yep, sure it is.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll feel better.
Monday.
Later.
It will be blue sky here one day soon.
Well, he's good at it, because I'll tell you what, we got cars, as you could probably hear in the background, ripping around here at Penticton Speedway. It is practice. We are live. I'm Joe Chisholm, along with Rusty Stacy. Rusty, officially, what's your last name?
Restio.
Restio, that's not that hard.
To say it's easy. When you see it on paper, it's a little different.
Okay.
With the X at the end, it confuses people.
No. There's an O at the end.
No, well.
Restio.
Phonetically, yes. It's just Restio.
That's the Italian in you.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Along with Jerry Paxton as well. And oh, by the way, it's the old guy's birthday. Happy birthday, Jerry.
Thanks, Joe. Hey, you know what I had to say? I'm used to seeing people always looking at their phones.
Right.
I mean, that's something everybody does now. But today, I don't think I've seen more people all looking at the same thing. The weather radar.
The weather. Yeah.
Everybody was looking at the weather. Are we going to get this in? Is it going to clear? Are we going to get this? And then there are people like me, the true believer.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. Wait for it. The doubting Thomases,
well, we have a lot of true diehard fans here in the stands too that started coming in even when it was raining and the track was still glistening black with wet water. So they obviously know Penticton a lot better than us, saying, hey, we know it'll go. We know it'll go.
It's so good we don't want to miss it. You can't take
cars
that
I
chance.
haven't seen today.
Well, we watched a few trailers rolling in. It's kind of like the rain started to let up there about 5 o'clock, and all of a sudden one hauler came in and another hauler came in. And I'm not saying the field grew by double, but we did have a few people go, well, I guess we'll go to the racetrack. It's dry now.
Yeah. This is the first day of 2. Of course, tomorrow is the Western Rattler 300, along with the Venom 100 for these very street stock guys and girls. But tonight's show isn't too shabby at all. This is going to be a good one. Qualifying still to come up. What you're hearing in the background is practice. Weather has definitely played a big role in what we're seeing right now. It's messed up the schedule pretty good, but we're making the best of everything, and they always do that here at Penticton Speedway. When you got a racing family like the Seaberts, these guys want to go racing like all the time. So they're not bailing, looking out the window saying, oh yeah, it's cloudy, we're going to go home. Not the Seabird family. If there's a will, there is a way, and they get it put together, and fruits of their labors on the track.
If you had told me at midday, the way that rain was coming down, that we would be 1 hour behind schedule tonight, I would have started laughing at you. Guess what? We're 1 hour behind schedule.
When you and I were driving back up from the hotel, the rain coming down, the wipers were on high when we were coming up the hill. So I would have never guessed it either. I thought for sure we would be going back to the hotel early tonight, hitting the casino. You know, it's just...
I don't know if I can afford those 33-cent $100 bills.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that casino was not nice to me last night, that's for sure.
No.
The beer was cold.
Rusty showed us a receipt, one of those coupons that they print out at the casino, your payout.
Yeah, my payout slip, yeah.
33 cents. I went, wow, that was a big night.
Taking you guys all out for popcorn dinner.
We're getting side-by-side now, gentlemen. See some side-by-side action now.
Track was getting a little racy. You see 2 grooves there if they can go side-by-side through that corner, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, that's the caution flag, and I'm going to tell you that that's the end of the practice.
Yep, that would do it for street stock.
Yeah.
You got all the knowledge you're going to get.
So 15-second laps look like the key here. So that'll be something good to know as we head into qualifying, to watch that, because 15, if you're a little over 15, you're going to be mid-pack. If you're under it, you're probably going to get to the front.
I think that could be a time. Some of these cars were in the 14s yesterday, though.
Yeah. It always blows my mind. You see qualifying, and you get the fast lap, and it's blistering quick. That's the fastest you're going to see all day, because when they get into race trim, you're not going to see times like that. They're going to actually go slower, but there's more traffic, there's more things happening, and it actually, can cost you some time.
Right, and it looks like there's about 12 to 14 on the roster tonight.
Yeah. That's going to be good.
So,
well, one thing I've learned about racing in the time I've been around and hanging out in the pits and so on, don't ever believe what a racer tells you about his car. Don't. Because they're going to lead you down the garden path in a long way. They'll go out and set that blistering fast lap and tell you, oh, it wasn't working right. I've still got to get some more out of it. Meanwhile, inside, they're jumping up and down. They've never gone that fast in their whole life.
Yeah.
And then you get the opposite guy who goes out and he's running 6th, 7th, and he's like, yeah, well, we got to find some more speed. And then you really know he wasn't pushing. Yeah. He knows what he's got under him, but he's saving it for when he needs it, not to put on a show and let everybody else know what he's got.
So there's probably points involved in the qualifying here. So you always want to qualify well.
Yeah.
But to my understanding, and me being new to this track, but other tracks you've gone to, they have a tendency to invert the order. So if you're top qualifier, you're starting at the back of the pack.
Well, could be, right?
Could be.
Yeah,
Could
a lot
be.
of tracks do
But-
it by draw.
Very, very true. But now they've put qualifying points there. So that...
Yeah, which is...
right, so a lot of people would be, I'm going to qualify 10th. That way I'll start about third row.
So you're using those words that I hate. Point racing. I hate point racing. And you know what? Most of the drivers I know that are real drivers, they don't care what the inversion is as long as they had the fastest time on that clock.
That's bragging rights. And that's what everybody wants to go for. Yeah. But there are people that point race.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why they put all those qualifying points in place, so that no one would sandbag.
Yeah,
exactly. You're telling me if I get top qualifier, I get 10 extra points?
Yeah. Actually,
if you're top qualifier in 6 events, that's 60 extra points throughout the season.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's one bad night in a main. That makes up a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
That's like you didn't show up for a night kind of points.
For sure.
And they were all earned in qualifying and heats.
Right. So it's kind of what NASCAR did in their top series, where they broke the race down into 3 sections now, and you've got the top 10 get 10 points all the way down to 1 for winning a segment of the race.
Yeah.
And I still hear the purists don't like stage racing. Just run it.
I think that's brought a brand new section of race fans to NASCAR, because
I agree.
I'll tell you, on a 1.5 mile racetrack, you had to be a super fan to sit there and watch the whole thing. You watch the first 5 laps, and you don't want to miss the last 5 laps, but those 400 in between, good luck.
I've had the opportunity to see NASCAR at all levels of their tracks, right from a short track to an intermediate to a super speedway. And I'll tell you right now that the short tracks that they have, Martinsville, Bristol, that they are, it's like going to a football stadium and watching a race.
Yeah.
There is action everywhere. It is phenomenal. Now, intermediate tracks, the 1.5, the 1.2, 1.5 mile tracks like Las Vegas, they're fun too, because it takes about 2 or 3 laps, and then they do spread out. So you do get some racing within the race. The gigantic tracks, the super speedways, that is 45 seconds of boredom followed by about 2 seconds of and the cars look like pinheads when they're in the far corner from where you're sitting. They're 2.5 miles away from you. It's
but they're not there for long.
That's very true.
No, they're in front of you before you know it.
So maybe just something on the track there, because the caution is now off and the street stocks are back out finishing their practice here.
That track is looking really nice and gray now.
Well, it's a good time for us to step out, take a quick break here on Race Time Radio. We'll do that, and then we will come back with you, all live from Penticton Speedway, right out here in beautiful British Columbia. If I can get my finger to work. Oh, the mouse isn't going to work there, so I'll have to go like that, but I digress. Quick break. We'll be back with you live on Race Time. Stay with us. If I could hit the brake, guys, we'd be all set. There we go.
Hey, race fans, this is Larry Barrio, and you're listening to Race Time Radio on Sirius XM, channel 167, Canada.
From coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Race Time Radio is brought to you by RPM Race Parts. Order today, race tomorrow. Also by VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology. And by Dawson Dental Centers. Get your victory lane smile at dawsondental.ca.
In Ontario, the Victoria Day long weekend in May has always held a tradition for auto racing. Since 1961, this is the place where fans have cheered on their heroes and watched as they captured the checkered flag. The tradition continues in 2023 with the Castrol Victoria Day Speed Fest at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, featuring the NASCAR Pinty Series and the eBay Motors 200. Cheer on Canada's top drivers and be part of the tradition. Visit CanadianTireMotorsportPark.com for tickets and details.
When you think NASCAR, think SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
This may be the most important thing that's ever happened. You're
damn right, baby. The races.
The Daytona 500 win.
Good job. Wow.
I love that we have playoff racing now.
The talk shows.
We'd love for you guys to participate as well.
The unprecedented access.
Well, I'm here at the red carpet with the fans.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Chastain did a video game move.
Also streaming on the SXM app.
I think they're happy down here.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Nothing connects like country music. Country music. Dig in to SiriusXM's Country Universe. The next generation on the highway, Channel 56.
I need something you.
This millennium's hits on Y2 Country, Channel 61. Or 80s and 90s Prime Country on Channel 58.
Oh, play me some Mountain Dew.
Tap into these and more in the country category on the SXM app, included with all trials and popular plans.
A Canadian that made an indelible mark across the world, Alex Trebek is best known as the host of Jeopardy, a show he hosted over 6,300 times since his debut in 1984. Alex won 5 Emmy Awards over that stretch and is still perhaps the most popular game show host of all time. His work with charities such as World Vision was tireless, and his foundation continues to benefit children across the globe. Alex Trebek, 2006 inductee on Canada's Walk of Fame.
Taking you all the way to the track and back. It's Race Time Radio.
And welcome back, everyone, live from Penticton Speedway. Easy for me to say, I'm joking. We got late models on the racetrack. What do you think? These look a little quicker there, Rusty.
They're a lot quicker, actually, but their times are significantly slower than yesterday. Obviously, a very green track. So I think the fastest one I've seen so far was about a 13:33. So 5/10 slower than the fastest cars yesterday. So, but they're just trying it out because they had a hot setup yesterday, and now with the cold green track, it's going to be a lot for them to figure out.
Well, when you look at the speed chart, the 67 just took over that top spot. 67 followed by the 70, Trent Seidel. Back to Riley Siebert. The 34 and the 6 are your top 5 right now. And it just changed again. Riley Siebert to the top of the board.
So I think you'll probably see these guys do about, 10, maybe 15 laps. And then if they're not happy, you'll probably see them come into the pit, have their crew turn here, turn there, make a change, and then maybe get back out. Because it looks like they're splitting them. They don't want them all out there at once. As one comes in, they'll put another out. They probably only want 10 of these guys out on the track at once right now.
Yeah. Trent Seidel retires to the pit, so he's got some information. But Trevor Siebert on the racetrack in the 69 car. Let's see what he can do.
42 of Kyle Reed rolling out onto the track. This will be another one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, a little bit loose down there in 3-4 for Kyle Reed in the 42 car. Kicked her sideways a little bit on the warm-up.
The 42 yesterday was on fire, so it's just a matter of seeing. He's very slow down on the bottom right now, obviously just wanting to get his tires warmed up and what have you. But he was a rocket ship yesterday.
Lindgren out on the speedway as well in the 56 car.
That 67 car, Jeff Cameron, sitting third on this chart right now too. So he's got a better setup than yesterday. He wasn't that strong.
Jeff Cameron looking pretty good.
Sheldon Merritt at number 6, also up on the board for the top 5. He's in the number 6 machine.
In the 19, that's going to be either Corbin Thomas or Kendall Thomas, I believe. Kendall? Kendall Thomas there.
And Kendall on the show just a couple of weeks ago. He's been revved for this race coming up tomorrow. Be happy he's getting some laps in here tonight, get some information. He's third on the board right now. 69, Trevor Siebert to the top of the board.
And the 42 now is picking up the pace, so I don't think it'll be long before we see him his number up on the board, and there it is right there.
Yep, in third spot right now. Let's see if we can pick that up.
He was fast all yesterday, so still in that third position behind Riley and Trevor Siebert.
He's got a little bit of clear racetrack in front of him now, so he'll be able to wind it up. He did have a couple of slower cars that were holding him back just a little bit. There he goes.
One more spot up. You're right. That clear track in front of you definitely makes a little bit of a difference.
You don't want to be running over anybody in practice.
And to the top of the board he goes with a 13-11-8.
Hey, there you go. A little different than we seen yesterday, but it's going to be, right? No rubber on the track.
There's a 13:01.
So you got 42 Kyle Reed up top of the practice right now, followed by the 69 car Trevor Siebert, back to Riley Siebert in the 09, Kendall Thomas in the 19, and the 70 of Trent Seidel still on that board, sitting there.
The one of Matt Stevenson just jumped onto the board.
He sure did in that 4th spot. That knocks Trent Seidel off the top 5.
And there's Trevor with your first 12-second lap. It was only up there quick, but it was a 12.96.
Yeah,
puts him back up to the top of the board.
Sure did. Look at that.
And a 12.90 he follows it up with. Trevor Siebert is lighting up this track right now.
I don't think Trevor wants to be Mr. Second Place no more.
No, I don't think he's going to settle for that. And, you know, we were talking about one car off, one car on. I don't think the 69 and the 42 were going to come off.
Three cars.
That's a fight back and forth, that is.
3 cars just did 12-second laps consecutively. The track is coming in for some of these guys. There's Matt Stevenson moving himself up into the 2nd spot.
Let's take a look at that top 5 once again. You got the 69 Trevor Siebert in that Fast Cat spot. 1 Matt Stevenson in 2nd. 42 Kyle Reed in 3rd. Kendall Thomas in the 4th spot, and Riley Siebert in the 5th spot right now.
Fastest 5 laps, but there's still a number of cars to come out right now. I don't think we've seen Wes Mader out on the track yet.
No. And I just see Corey Mears just came out with the 72 car for his first kick at the can here in practice.
Just had a look down in the pits, and they're already going to work on that 42 of Kyle Reed, so you know he's going to be back out. They're looking for speed.
He was fast all yesterday, so with the track, we got the 72 going around in turn 3 and 4. It looks like he saved it there right at the entrance of pits, but you're going to have the caution come out here for sure on that.
That'll be Corey Mears. He was struggling in practice yesterday, so looks like it may have just gotten away from him.
He may have an addition to the seat right now. That was real close to clipping the inside retaining wall.
He got her stopped just short there, so.
He sure did.
Probably just cold tires. You did say he just came out of the pit, so probably just some cold tires and trying to push it just a little bit through the second groove of 3 and 4 there. And
it's funny, you know, we look at this as practice. The guys behind the wheel look at it as competition. And oh, by the way, the 8 car just came out. That Whiskey Smoke number 8.
Yeah, Wes Mader's out there in the 10 as well. So he was putting down some pretty respectable times yesterday.
Kelly Admiral, not one to play with. I'll tell you, he is one quick car. He had a real good car here last year and ended up with a problem that took him out. So, hoping for a good run this year.
We're back to green. Matt Stevenson still out on the track in the yellow and blue one. Now, Matt's a local guy. He's just from up the road. I believe he's from Caledon, or close to OK Falls, I believe. This would be probably considered his local track.
The 18 guys has jumped onto that Fast 5 top 5 in the 4th spot. Still led by Trevor Siebert. No one's topping the Bosch yet.
I see Riley Siebert's come back out on the track as well. The 09 of Riley Siebert's come back out.
Yep. Here you go, Kelly Admiral on the board. He is up to the 4th spot.
I think what you'll see here a lot too is as these guys start to bunch up, you'll see them just intentionally slow down to give themselves a little bit more running room so that they can run their line, run the purest lap that they want. So
get a good clean lap in.
They're starting to get really bunched up. Like you'll see the 72 is backed off, Matt Stevenson is backed off. You see that Riley is now backing off because they want to give themselves as much clean track as possible to run their line and get the lead right now.
Hey, you lead and win tonight's practice, you get the bragging rights until tomorrow's 300. And move Mater to the top of the board. The 10 car right up top.
Well, he broke into the 12s yesterday, and it didn't take him long to come out on the track and hit a 12-second here. Here he comes around now through 3 and 4.
Looks like
12.79. Wow. 12.79.
I'd say, Jerry, that the Mater crew's got it figured.
Yeah, this morning he was pretty confident that they were going to get it all figured out, and after yesterday's practice, it looks like they found it. But hey, maybe the weather's just on their side. This cooler temperature tonight, you can hear it in the cars. They're making lots of power tonight, and I don't hear any rubber sliding around like I did yesterday in the hot sun.
All right, move Riley Siebert up. He's back up onto the Fast 5. He's in 2nd spot right now.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good. Wes Mater's last 3 laps have all been sub 12 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, sub 13.
Sub 13, yeah.
Sub 13. Yep. So 3 in a row, not too bad. He gave himself some clear track, and up he went. And I think that's the same thing that Riley did. He backed off and gave himself some clear track. And now he's out there. This might be a little bit of a slower one. He had to go around the 6X.
Yeah, 13 flat. Give you your top 5 as they run right now. Of course, this is practice, everyone. Wes Mater in the 10 car is currently the top of the board. The 09 of Riley Siebert in 2nd. 3rd spot, the 69, Trevor Siebert. Back to the 1, Matt Stevenson. And Kelly Admiral in the 8 rounds out your top 5 right now as they're on the racetrack. It's practice. They haven't got much time left, guys, and they're going to be hauled off the track, and that's going to be it until the 300 for them.
Well, they will have some qualifying tonight.
Oh, that's true.
They will have their qualifying laps, but this is your practice to set your car for qualifying.
Yes.
This is it, so...
The number 70, Trent Seidel, is making his way back to the racetrack right now. I think that guy's been in the pits watching what's going on and says, I want a piece of that top 5.
Yeah, I think you're right. And let's see if he can sneak it back up there with the big dogs. Trent Seidel, beautiful black race car. It's got some beautiful stars on it. They've done a really good job with that race car, preparing it.
Kyle Reed in the 42 was on his way back to the racetrack. They were thrashing on that car pretty good down there, so let's see if they found the speed. They may have talked to the Mater crew to find out what they had. They're side by side in the pits.
You know who's a sleeper right now? As you take a look at this 18 car of Tyler Emond.
Yes.
He is running 13 flats. He's right there in traffic.
And
so
consistent.
He's just off the board. Yeah, a little bit slower that time with a 13.2, but his last 3 or 4 laps have been 13 flats. So he's right there almost at the 12-second mark. So they're just a hair shy. Maybe one adjustment. Maybe just one adjustment and he'll be good to go.
Another flat for the 42 of Kyle Reed. He's consistent as well. 13 flat.
He's got lots and lots of free track in front of him, too. So
Kyle
that
Reed,
42 is going to pick up here real quick.
Kyle Reed's back on the board. That's a 12.89.
Now a 12.791.
Took another 10th off.
Here he comes around now. Let's see what he's got.
12.846.
That 42 car is impressing me.
Wes Mater, the same guy that had the pole for the 300 last year, currently leads this practice session. Followed by the 42 of Kyle Reed, the 09 of Riley Siebert back out on the Speedway. He's sitting in the 3rd spot. 69 of Trevor Siebert back to the yellow and blue number 1 of Matt Stevenson.
That 18 is still out there. That's Tyler Emond, it shows on the timing sheet. Another 13 flat for him. Looked like a 13.09.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. Can't see many guys, that are running like say a 13.5 or whatever. This field's really tight within a couple tenths.
The 70 of Trent Seidel is parked in the pit right beside Kyle Reed and Wes Mater. I got a funny feeling he might be knocking on the door going, "Hey guys."
So Kyle Reed came out pretty quick here in this session. Second fast time, but he's been slowing down a little bit, though. He's been hitting 13.1s, 13.2s the last little bit. He's now caught up to the 18, so...
Maybe indicative of the heat in the tires, starting to warm him up, right? He's got quite a few laps on.
Possibly.
Yeah, right now he's riding the tail of that 18 car, but it looks like Kyle Reed is going to take the 42 back to the pits as he slows it down the back straightaway, and he is going to head pit side.
So nobody has topped the 10 car of Wes Mater right now, your fast guy in the Fast 5 for tonight's practice session. If you're just tuned in, we are coming to you live from Penticton Speedway. It is night number 1 of this great weekend of action, including the Western Rattler 300 tomorrow. Tonight, you're going to see some, well, you're not going to see it, but you're going to hear it. Tomorrow, you'll see it. Tonight, you just got to listen to it, audio only on Racetime Radio. And we got street stocks coming at us for qualifying. We got some heats coming. And we've got 100 laps for those street stocks tonight.
The street stock event should be a pretty exciting race for the fans here tonight. There's a pretty good sized field, and we, of course, expected to have those WESCAR race as well for the fans, but unfortunately, just due to time constraints, they've gladly accepted to join right in with the Rattler boys tomorrow, so that'll be exciting.
There's no doubt. BC right now is getting hammered with rain everywhere. There's flooding. There is all kinds of stuff that, the racers never depended on. And it's undoubtedly cost us cars here at the Speedway. It has no other choice but to. It's been quite a day.
Riley Siebert coming off the track right now. So left out there's the 18. He's just pretty much been that practice guy. He's been out. I don't think he came in. I think he was out there the entire time. He turned a lot of laps out there.
I don't remember him practicing yesterday, so that could be the reason. He may have just wanted to really work that car and see what it's got in the long run, how much it's losing.
For sure.
So checkered flag is out on late model practice.
And I believe that's going to do it. What you got is what you're going to have to bring out for qualifying when the late models come out for their qualifying session. That will come up a little bit later tonight here at Penticton Speedway. We're going to move now, I believe, into the national anthem, and then onward and upward we go into street stock qualifying, heat races, features. We got lots of it coming at you, and I know it's going to be a great night of racing. Sure glad you could tune in here to Race Time Radio all live, and welcome to all you fans here at Penticton Speedway.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the practicing out there. I know that the race car drivers did for sure, to try to get an idea of what this track's going to be like. Welcome to Penticton Speedway. Welcome to the first event of the year. Although rain shortened, it's going to be a great night. We have Charlene Coles here. This is the wife of Billy Coles, one of the street stock drivers. She's going to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Awesome job, man, oh man. That's the way you sing "Oh Canada." What a beautiful job there, Rusty.
Excellent. That wasn't me. That was was Charlene Coles.
Yeah, Charlene did awesome.
Excellent job there.
She can sing, and her husband can drive. I can tell you that. He won the street stock race here just last year. And we'll see if Billy's got it in him tonight.
So I believe also I found out some information on the 52 car.
Did you? And
seeing as it looks like he's lined up as the first driver, I've been told that it is Garnet Grimard. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Yep. Garnet, we had him on the show. And you are pretty good, man, at getting that information.
I'm just trying.
You're just like a dog on a bone.
Well, that's what I'm looking forward to here, is getting to know all these guys that are going to be coming here regularly, and then I won't have to rely on sheets.
Yes.
I'll know them personally. I'll know their numbers. I'll know their names, and it'll just roll off the tongue. Learning them all. Some of the late model guys from the series that I announced in before, I know them.
Right.
Joe Cornett Ching, Trevor Adelman out of Quesnel. You've got the Thomases. the Sieberts, Riley and Trevor. These guys I've known. Matt Stevenson, Gene Linger, Steve Linger, Jeff Cameron, right? I've announced for these guys for years. The local racers here, I'm excited to get to know them, meet them, learn their numbers and all this. It's going to be a lot of fun here this year.
Well, yeah, and you do a really good job, my friend. You take your job serious and you do a dynamite job doing it. We're in for a good one here tonight at Penticton Speedway, getting set for street stock qualifying. Now, this is kind of different. You're going to have 2 laps of timed qualifying. There's points involved in this. So your fastest qualifier, I believe, is going to get 15 points. Your second fastest is going to get 14 points, and downward we go. Then they're going to come out and run 1 set of heats, 1 set. And then same thing. You're going to get 15 points for the win, 14 points for second, and down you go.
Right.
They're going to total all those points up that you got, and we're going to find out where you're going to start the feature based on those points.
That's right.
Not only a fast time do you want here, you want to run hard in the heats. You want to. There's just incentive everywhere to make sure that the driver behind the wheel isn't going, I can sandbag here a wee bit, and I'll maybe start a little further up.
Right, so it looks like qualifying is going to start here, and it is going to be that number 52 of Garnet Grimard coming out. So he'll come out. This will be his 1 lap to go around the track, get himself tightened in there, although most of them should already be tightened down.
Oh, yeah. Spoke to Garnet, I'm going to say a month ago on race time. So I'm excited to get to this weekend, I can tell you that. And those guys have worked hard on that race car, getting it all shined up, ready to go. He picks up the white flag at the line. White flag.
So 14.91 is his first lap. So I guess they changed it on us again. It's automatically out of the pits. You get 1 warm-up lap. That's
and
at 1.
There is the checkered flag, his second lap.
Much better lap there, 14.54 for Garnet Grimard. Now, some of these guys were turning some pretty good laps yesterday in the heat.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the 4 car, the 04, and they look like the ones now. Here's the 01. This is the truck. Now, this is Chris Moore, and he's out of Grand Prairie, I believe. Hythe being his home track.
If that's the same truck that I seen last year here at this race, I'm telling you what, the thing moves.
Lots of slipping through 3 and 4 there. But a 14.68 for his first lap.
So he's got to pick that up, Jerry. Needs to at least get another 10th if he plans on jumping ahead of Garnet. Nope, not that lap. Back to lost a 10th. 14.767 for his second lap. 66 car now comes trackside there, Rusty.
Yeah, looking at the 66. So that's going to be Corey McGivern. Corey, a local guy here. He's out of Penticton. I'm pretty sure that car is brand new. Him and his family built that. It was no stickers, no decals, no anything on that when he was out here a couple weeks ago. 14.84, first one there for Corey.
Needs, what, 3/10? Got to beat a 14.5 if he's going to top Garnet.
See what he's got here on his second lap. 14.70, did pick it up a bit, but just not enough. So the 52 still with the 14.5, our fast car right now. Some good cars still to come.
The 54 comes trackside.
The bright yellow 54. This is Bob Reichert out of Tulameen, I believe. I think that's what we found out earlier there, Jerry. Tulameen?
That's correct. He's got a good lap going here. We'll see how it looks good on the racetrack. We'll see how it looks on the clock.
Picks
15.
15.08.
Well, look good.
Yeah.
Time trials are something some guys are really good at, and other guys just struggle. 14.73,
a big pickup on the second lap there for him. So Bob Reichert out of Tulameen there. Got himself on the board. 4th fastest right now.
Nobody's topped Garnet Grimard just yet in the 52 car.
So here's the 11. Now this is Yanni.
Oh, Yan Man.
Yeah, Yan Man.
The Yan Man.
Now I was
Yanni
afraid
Christos.
I was going to butcher it. Was Christos?
Christos.
Christos. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yanni Christos. So Yanni's out of Vancouver, but he was the champion here last year. So, and a 14.25 for his first lap. So
That moves him to the top of the board.
in
right
true
there.
championship style, he comes out, sets it right away. And then a 14.19, so he
Wow.
betters himself. So
Yeah.
the 2022 Street Stock champion, Yanni there, setting fast time.
The Yan Man.
The Yan Man.
Yeah.
Out of Vancouver, but apparently leaves his gear here. So just makes the drive up. So 37. This is going to be Donnie Kunka out of Williams Lake. He's driving the Avian Motorsports car, the 37.
The iconic black, yellow.
Yellow and black. Team yellow and team black.
Johnny picks up the white flag. First lap, 14.715.
Picking it up as he comes out of turn 4 on the second lap. See how much he can shave. 14.413.
14.41.
That's a good pickup on the second lap. You could hear him hitting the chip a wee bit.
Well, second fastest, so not too shabby for Donnie Kunka. I'm not sure how many laps he has around this track, so. The 91, this is Chris Bolio out of Vancouver Island, I believe. Taking the green there right out of the pits, Chris Bolio in the 91 Street Stock. First time, 14.65.
Ooh, he's going to be close with
See if
that
he can
first
pick it up.
lap.
And a 14.4. That's going to put him right behind Donnie Kunka there.
Yep. Keeps him on the board in that third slot for the 91 car. Next up, the number 6.
This is going to be Dean Perry out of Osoyoos in the number 6.
And he's got the green flag, so this is lap number 1 on the clock as he exits turn 2 down the back straightaway. Down the front, 15.478, 15.478. So a little bit off the pace.
Seems like he's pushing just a bit. You can hear that squeal.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Second lap pickup, 15.239.
Well, he improved by 0.3, but it's not going to get him on the board with those guys with the 14.4s. So.
Yeah, he's going to need just about another second when it comes time for race time, but nevertheless, not a bad lap.
So the 43, this is Doug Barrett out of Kamloops. Now this is a classic street stock. Oh, and Let There Be Light. Look at that.
Awesome.
So the 43 coming out of 3 and 4 there, taking the white flag first lap. 15.95 for Doug Barrett. This is Doug's home track, Penticton, but he is out of Kamloops, which is about a 2.5, 3 hour drive away, depending on the way you go. 15.56.
Different gear in that car, I would assume. Sounded like the RPMs were up. But
Sounded like he was there, but...
yeah, just a different gear ratio will do that.
Now, on the track,
Ellie Dunsey.
And the
Here
31.
we go. Her grandfather will be intently watching this as that youngster and her grandfather built this race car over the winter. She is one excited young lady. Ellie posts a time of 15.665 for lap number 1. She'll pick it up in lap number 2.
And she did, 5/10, 15.11. So not a bad second lap. Puts her just a little bit shy of those faster cars, but when they all get out on the track together, that's when it means.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen Ellie race. She's crafty. She knows how to get the job done. 33 up next. Who's in that?
That's Spencer Jorgensen out of Saskatoon. Now, this is the car, I believe, that hit the wall yesterday in practice and put those 2 black marks up there. So those guys worked on that thing. I think it broke something in that right front. So he's going to take the white flag for his first lap. 15.62. So a little bit off the pace. Little light show there coming through 3 and 4. And a 15.37, so he did knock off 3/10.
Wow. Gear selection is everything, isn't it, gentlemen?
At this track, for sure.
Yeah.
If you miss it by 1, that's where you're gonna lose that straightaway speed.
I would say. Now we've got another 33 on
Actually,
the racetrack.
this could be the 33 that hit the wall.
I believe it is.
Yeah, so this could be the 33 that hit the wall.
And this car is from Saskatoon.
Yeah, this is the Saskatoon car. I apologize. Yeah. So the 33 that just went was Jason Anderson from Williams Lake. This is Spencer Jorgensen. This is the 33. I think they're going to call it the 33X. Is that what they put on that?
And his first lap was a 14.929. As he comes back to the line for the checkered flag, he'll pick it up a 14.798.
So the 14's obviously a good time for a street stock around here. 14.5 being an exceptionally good time, anywhere in the 14s. And then if you're in the 15s, you're just a little bit of a tick off. So I didn't see that car.
Green flag comes out.
Oh, here comes the 4.
The number
Here you
4.
go, the 4. Now this is Jeremy Smith out of OK Falls. And then we also have a 04 as well, which I believe will show as a 4W on the scoreboard because you can't apparently have zeros in front of the numbers, which I didn't understand. So a 14.45 to a 14.34 puts him in second spot. So a great lap there for the 4 out of OK Falls.
One of those 1985 Monte Carlos. It's orange. It's got a nice white roof.
So right from a classic street stock into one of these brand new street stocks. This is the 75 car. This is Graham Cook.
Graham bailed on that lap. Yeah, he's heading back to the pits.
Not sure what happened there.
I don't know. Must have felt something in that race car and decided, I'm going to hold up here.
Safe is better than broken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially if he picked up on a temperature gauge or something. So next up is the 04.
This is the 04 now. So this is Mike Oakes driving the 04. So another OK Falls, Penticton being his home track. So he probably knows this track like the back of his hand, knows the fastest line around it.
15.582. So he's going to try to better that time as he comes around this one. Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway. And we'll tick on at 15.079. Not bad. Picked it up.
Half second.
Very big pickup there for the 04.
Different line that time, too, guys. So I'm watching the 04 go into turn 3. He entered a lot higher on that second lap. So it'd be interesting to see what the line is that these guys are taking.
So the 67, that's Billy Coles. That's our anthem singer's husband right there.
First lap, a 14.909 for Billy.
$14.68. Not too bad.
Yep. Does that put him on the top 5 board? No.
I don't believe it does. I think you've got to be about a 14.5 to knock off that 52 that's up there.
Well, the 34 comes trackside. Beautiful green, I believe. It's kind of one of those chrome illusion cars.
Wayne Osborne, this is the second car out of Saskatoon. First lap, taking the white flag. 15.40. And you can hear that push, that squeal as they're pushing through 1 and 2. So probably pushing a lot. A little bit quieter coming through 3 and 4. Knocked 1/10 off, 15.3.
Yep.
Consistent.
Pickup is a pickup.
Okay, it looks like the 75's coming back out, so whatever. Now, this street stock sounds racing. It has a nice sound to it. Takes the green flag. Lots of sparks coming out of the back end of that one. Something's bottoming out on it. First time lap. 14.47. That is a very good first lap for that 75 of Graham Cook.
That gets him right up on the board there.
He's got potential here.
Let's see what he does here on the second one. And a 14.36 moves him up to third fastest. So I'm not sure what happened with the hiccup, but whatever it is, they fix it.
Yeah, I'd say. That's worth doing right there.
Not too shabby. So that's going to be your qualifiers right there.
That's got street stock qualifying in. We'll get them all sorted out for you.
Try to go into the pit shack there and get a printout, and I'll be right back with you guys. See
That
if I can
sounds
get an
good.
order.
Might be a good time for us to step out, take a quick break on Race Time Radio. We'll come back, and I guarantee you we'll have a whole lot more from Penticton Speedway. It's all live on Race Time Radio. Stay with us.
Hey, it's Robbie Gordon from Speed Energy and Stadium Super Trucks here in Canada, and you're listening to Race Time Radio on Sirius XM 167.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is brought to you by Leaf Racewear. Fuel your passion and confidence at leafracewear.com. We're an essential part of any team. And by Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Canada's biggest sports car racing weekends of the year. For tickets and details, get to CanadianTireMotorsportPark.com. It's time to get back to the racetracks. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled the sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter.
In Ontario, the Victoria Day long weekend in May has always held a tradition for auto racing. Since 1961, this is the place where fans have cheered on their heroes and watched as they captured the checkered flag. The tradition continues in 2023 with the Castrol Victoria Day Speed Fest at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, featuring the NASCAR Pinty Series and the eBay Motors 200. Cheer on Canada's top drivers and be part of the tradition. Visit CanadianTireMotorsportPark.com for tickets and details.
Hey everyone, this is World Series champions Lance McCullers Jr. and Carlos Correa. We're excited to announce that our podcast, The Walkout, is now available on SiriusXM.
Each episode, we go inside the world of combat sports, providing hardcore analysis, honest opinions, and top picks for every fight.
If you share the same passion for combat sports as we do, you need to listen to The Walkout.
Episodes are available on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Rev TV, your motorsports and automotive destination. Watch live races from around the world and right here at home, from 2 wheels to 4 and so much more. Rev TV is your source for motorsports. Rev TV features exclusive race series, up-to-date news coverage, documentaries, how-to programs, and adrenaline-filled lifestyle programs 24/7. Go green with Rev TV. Contact your TV provider to order.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is fueled by VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
If you're a Springsteen fan, you just found the promised land. Hear rare interviews and performances. Live concerts.
Is there anybody alive out there?
Celebrity guest DJs.
This is Rob Lowe. Hey, babies, little Steven here.
And more exclusives when listening to Bruce Springsteen's channel.
Welcome, Bruce Springsteen, to E Street Radio, your home away from home. Great to be here.
E Street Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 20.
I'm ready to fly.
Explore the musical world of an American rock and roll troubadour on his very own channel.
Tom Petty Radio.
All of Tom's music, influences, collaborations.
This is Tom Petty here on the Buried Treasure Show.
Heartbreakers hosted shows.
Check out my show, The Breakdown with Mike Campbell.
And more.
Breakdown's alright.
It's Tom Petty Radio.
Channel 31.
It's alright.
And in the SXM app, included with all trials and popular plans.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every NFL, NBA, and NHL game on your phone?
I can't believe it!
Every game, all season. It's all on the SXM app. Sports the way they're meant to be heard, with your hometown announcers just a tap away. Search for your team, then tap the star on the corner of the screen and save it as your favorite.
It is gone! An incredible finish!
And if you love college sports, when the game is on, just search for your school. It's always a home game when you listen to sports on the SXM app. Free for most subscribers.
We're just getting started. That's right. Joe hasn't stuck his foot in his mouth yet. But hang tight, it's coming. Now, back to more Race Time Radio and Joe Chisholm.
And welcome back, everyone, all live from Penticton Speedway in beautiful British Columbia. We're qualifying's done. We're getting ready to go heat racing. I am Joe, along with Jerry Paxton, and we got the Rustolia guy. Rustolia.
You're going to come up with about 14. You're going to come up with about 14 different nicknames for me, Joe, by the end of the night.
Rusty.
You can call me Rusty. You can call me Stacy. Don't call me late for dinner.
Full field rundown after that qualifying.
Full field rundown. So the number 11, Yanni, there, 14:19. 14:19, Yanni with the fast time there. And then the 4 of Jeremy Smith, he's second there with a 14:34. The 75 of Graham Cook took third. The 37 of Donnie Kunka, fourth fastest. Then the 91 of Chris Bolio. The 52 of Garnet Grimard, starting with the sixth fastest time. The 01, Chris Moore, was seventh. The 67 of Billy Coles was eighth. The 66 of Corey McGivern was ninth. And the 54 of Bob Reichert was 10th. All of those guys are within a half second of each other.
Wow.
11th, you had the 33X of Spencer Jorgensen. The 12th fastest was the 4W of Mike Oakes. And 13th fastest was the 31 of Ellie Dunsis. Now, those top 13 cars are all within 1 second of each other. So
that's
pretty close race in there, yeah. The final 4, the 6 of Dean Perry, 14th. The 15th fastest was the 34 of Wayne Osborne, followed by the 33 of Jason Anderson, and then the 43 of Doug Barrett. And the difference between first to 17th is 1.36 seconds. So pretty good average speed, too, for a street stock around. It looks like about the average speed was just over 62 miles an hour. So not too shabby.
Not too bad at all. Now we're going to take that whole field and we're going to split it right in half. And we're going to have one heat and
there's
another
two
heat.
heats. You betcha. There's two heats. So one's going to have 9 cars. The other one's going to have 8 cars because there's 17 in total.
Yeah.
So what the race directors decided is it's odd and even, and it's inverted. So Yanni will be starting at the back of Heat 1.
Oh.
The number 2 driver, the 4 of Jeremy Smith, he will be starting at the back of Heat 2. The third place, Graham Cook, will be starting right beside Yanni at the back of Heat 1. So it's odd and even.
Who is having more fun than street stock guys and the fans here at Penticton Speedway?
There you go.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
And I can already hear somebody's going to say, 60 miles an hour? I do that on the highway. That's no problem. Well, that's not that fast. No, you're going in a straight line.
Yeah.
We got 4 corners.
Yep. and real tight ones.
All right, so just a little update here. The race director has made a judgment call here, and the 67 of Billy Oakes is going to be given a second chance to qualify because they don't believe that the car that was ahead of him had cleared the track. So they think that it might have impeded him coming out of 3 and 4.
That will definitely change your line.
The 67, the 67 is going to be given a second chance to qualify here. It'll be the same thing. He will come out. He will take the green.
So that'll be Billy Coles.
Billy Coles.
Yes.
Sorry.
Billy Coles.
Yeah, the 67 of Billy Coles. Now, right now, he was sitting 8th with a time of 14.68. So this could change up the order a little bit.
Well, it could. It could.
So you'll take the green flag. .14.53, so immediately faster than his best lap last time.
His tires are warm.
And a 14.37, which puts him up on the board into 4th, so it's going to shake it up just a little bit, but
yeah, it will.
Fair is fair if he believes that he was impeded, and obviously the race director saw it as well. So he does like that low line through 3 and 4.
Agreed. Yep.
And if that other car is not in below that white painted line, that would impede with Billy's preferred line around that corner. So.
Yeah, his warm-up lap.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, the only question that I know I would have is his tires were warmed up and I didn't have a chance to warm my tires.
So that could be true.
Well,
but, however, he did sit there while we were making all these decisions.
That's
so they
right.
might have They might have lost a little bit of temperature.
Now, Billy wasn't thinking, though, and I'll tell you the reason why I say that. You just said that they're going to turn all those fast guys to that back, right?
Yeah.
So now I'd rather be sitting 8th than sitting 4th right now on the board.
Now he's going to be starting because it's going to go odd and even.
Right.
So the 11 and the 75 are going to be on the back row of Heat 1. The 4 and the 67 are the back row of Heat 2.
There you go.
There you go.
Back you go, Billy.
I think he would have been in the same heat, though, because he was 8th. So he's still an even because he's in 4th.
Yeah, but he would have been
But he would have been a row or 2 up.
Sure, track position, right? Those are cars you wouldn't have had to pass in the heat.
Once
They
again.
didn't tell him about the handicap till after he asked to go.
And bragging rights. People like to see that low number up on the board.
Well, he would have really come off the chip, had he come out and turned the fast time, knocked the 11 off the top.
Yeah, here 3 weeks ago when Trevor and his son Riley were just doing the test and tune and checking the track out. Listening to those two when they got out of the car, looking at the numbers, I wasn't leaving until I could best you. I wasn't leaving until I could best you. And, and if Trevor would come in and he'd hop out of the car and he'd see Riley, he'd helmet back on, back in the car he went. Can't have the young boy out doing the dad.
Just got the lineup.
Oh.
You were right, Joe. Billy may be kicking himself now. He's going to start in the back row.
On the back row, yeah.
Well, that's right, yeah. So, right with the 4, because odd and even. So
yeah.
Now, so Heat 1's going to have the 9, and then Heat 2 will have 8. So, because there are 17 street stocks tonight.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you can't take one and saw it in half.
And here comes the lovely Pat with.
Yes, Pat from Agassiz Speedway.
With our new qualifying order. Which, of course, bumped Billy up.
She is really good. Just for the record, she is really good at electronic scoring.
Fantastic. So I worked with Pat down at Agassiz because she was the timing and scoring down there. She's been down there for years and years, and she willingly trains so many people, and she has a passion for it.
Yeah.
She has a passion
you
for
can
it,
tell.
for sure.
You can tell.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of scorekeepers in my day traveling around this beautiful country, and I'll tell you what, Pat ranks in the top 2.
The top 2.
The top 2.
Yeah. The other one's
I can't tell
the other
you
one's
who's
Joe's
number 1.
wife, so he has to say that's number 1. I'm not sure who it is, but no, Pat does a fantastic job.
Yeah,
we appreciate
sure
everything that she does for us in there.
Yep.
Keeping us up to
So
date.
we got the lineups. We got a Street Stock 100 coming up. And
no,
then
225s first.
Oh, 225s.
Yeah,
that's right.
The 225s.
Yep.
And then what that's going to do is then set
Right.
the order.
And remember, it's going to be with qualifying points.
That's right.
Right.
So where you take your qualifying points, and then you're going to take your points that you get in the main, add those together.
Yes.
Someone being Pat, is going to have to crunch some numbers very quickly.
Well, I believe
and figure out
that in talks, and I don't know if I'm talking out of school or not, but I heard earlier today that they're going to invert the top 10 after qualifying.
Right.
After everything is done.
Right, but all of these points that you're getting are going to end up with your season total.
Sure.
So.
Oh, this is part of the yearly points? These?
You betcha.
Okay. That I didn't know. I thought it was just for tonight. But yeah, if they're going to carry that through, that's huge. You want every point you can pick up. And we got cars rolling.
Yeah, I think those are a couple late models just getting ready to move
Their
themselves.
qualifying's coming up. Maybe it's coming up right now.
I think that they were going to fire off the 225s first, but
right.
The schedule that I was given earlier today that I announced to the fans that were here very, very early, at 6 o'clock, I went through a schedule that quickly, because the rain didn't end as quick as we thought,
right.
had to be kiboshed, and it basically went out the window, and we started 45 minutes after, and then we had the delay with the problem in the seam in the corner there that Trevor and Riley and the crew took care of, so big thanks to them for getting out and doing that. And we're going to try to get this going as quick as possible for you guys, because you can feel the wind blowing this way now.
Yeah. We're feeling a difference, and you really feel a sharp difference in the temperature. That may be good news, it may be bad.
Well, as long as the wetness stays away, that's fine with me. As long as the raindrops stay away, I'm absolutely fine.
Well, someone told me that a 7-degree temperature variance is the trigger.
I'm not a meteorologist, so I'll trust you on that.
But I did stay at a Super 8 last night.
There you go. Excellent. I knew that joke was going to come out sometime soon.
Yeah.
So anyways, a big thank you to all you guys that showed up here tonight. The racers really appreciate you guys coming out. Big race tomorrow, the Rattler 300, which these guys pretty soon will be qualifying for. And that'll be some pretty exciting times now.
It'll be snaky.
It'll be snaky. I'm pretty sure that they'll qualify the same, but don't hold me to this, because those cars and their tires need a little bit more warm-up, so they might not get just a out of the chute and go. They might get one warm-up lap so that they can get some heat into their tires.
There won't be any qualifying points or heat races for the late model guys.
No, it's just park them and get your tires painted.
You got 2 laps to get her done, and that's all track position on every lap.
Interesting that in practice for the street stocks, we did see a couple of 13-second laps. We did not see that in qualifying.
No, not at all.
But we talked about the temperature. We talked about the humidity here. I'm wondering if that's having a little effect on the cars tonight, because from the time they ran practice until they qualified, that temperature dropped a little.
Right, so that's going to be your track temperature. Now, the cold air for the engine is fantastic, but the cold air on the track, that's going to affect the tire a little bit. So, but Yanni was 14.19, pretty close. So, you know, he was one of the cars that in practice was throwing up high 13s. So,
and the problem is, you're out there all by yourself. You don't know how fast you're going.
Right.
You
Although,
can't tell.
you can see that scoreboard pretty well when you come out of turn 1.
Too late then.
You're
Lap
right.
time's already up.
Yeah, you're right. But it gives you an idea of how much you got to pick up or where you're at.
As I said, I've talked to a lot of drivers over the years, and there are guys who are terrific. They love going out there by themselves, just crank it up, and they can run a real fast lap. Then you put them in traffic. Then they're not so happy. And there's other guys who, you know, they're great in traffic, but they do not like having to time trial. The only comfort they get is they know they've got a fast car and they know they can handle the traffic. So put me 5th. I'm okay.
Yeah, there are some people that are definitely true race car drivers that just, it doesn't matter where I start, it just means it's more I got to pass. Those are just more cars I have to pass. So Now, we have the pace car down there. The brake lights are on, so it's obviously getting ready to roll some out here. But I think the issue right now is that they're trying to roll a couple cars over the scales, which could be in the way. So we'll wait and see what goes on here.
We'll get things rolling here at Penticton Speedway as they... couple of cars down in that corner as you're right. Yeah, there's a couple of street stocks just trying to get over to the scales and get out of the way of the street stock so they can get out there. You know, when we talk about drivers who enjoy traffic and drivers who love to pass everybody and come from the back, many times they used to put a bounty. If you go to the back, we'll pay you extra money if you can win this race.
Ron Lipsky.
In recent years, not seeing as many guys willing to go to the back as they used to.
Well,
and the truth is right there on that score sheet. You're 1 second between 18 cars.
Yeah, but not many promoters want to put money out anymore.
Well, that's true, too.
Right? But back in the day, Ron Lipsky, I remember seeing that at Flamborough. He took that number 15 back then. Remember that? What did he have? A Ford Granada. And he would start dead last, take a promoter's challenge, if you will, give you $5 extra for every car you pass. Full field, 24 cars. Lipsky would have qualified on the pole. Yep, I'll do it. Go to the back and boom.
Years ago, Sunset Speedway. Tommy Milligan. Remember that name?
Tommy Milligan.
Tommy Milligan had a bounty on him.
Yep.
He couldn't win the extra money, but if you could beat Tommy Milligan, there was $500 in it for you.
Yeah.
And it went up 100 every week that Tommy wasn't beaten.
Yeah.
So money get up there and be reasonable. Guess who showed up?
Junior.
Well, sometimes Junior showed up, but then again, Fred Bullen, another old name. Fred used to come in, bring his late model in, whip Tommy, and then he'd leave. You wouldn't see him again for a few weeks till the money got good.
Just
pick
your day. What's it at? What's it at?
Yeah.
Reminds you of the story, of the guy that said, "We're all trying to figure out what you do for a living. What's the pot at? Well, it's only $500. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we wait till it gets to 1,000, and then I'll tell you, and we'll split it."
I'm a painter this week.
Yeah. Back in the day, there was promoters that would easily hand guys some extra money to put on the show.
I did when I owned Sauble.
It was the show. Yeah.
When I owned Sauble, Keith Dempster would come out in a Can-Am midget, and he was amazing in that car. And you could always count on Keith to win that race. He was another Junior Hanley when he would show up of the Can-Am midget world. And the one night, full field of midgets at the beach, and we did a driver intro out of the car, and they got right up to Keith Dempster, and he was on the pole. And I said to Dave Middleton, "Give me the mic." And I said, "Okay, Keith, you're on the pole. You're going to go after this one. How about I give you an extra $500 if you can win this race from the back?" And he thought about it and hemmed and hawed. And the crowd, of course, just went all over him. So Keith Dempster, I said, "But now the deal is you got to win."
Second doesn't count.
Yep, that's right. Second's only the first loser. And Keith took the challenge, and away he went. You think he could pass Jeff Ribberty for that last spot? Not a prayer. He finished second, didn't get the bonus, and Ribberty won the race. He said, "And I get the beer that he would have got." So, yeah, he did. He did. It was good.
I can remember a couple of late model drivers at Flamborough Speedway that you could guarantee they'd be the guys to take the money to go to the back.
Yeah.
Jason Shaw was first on my list.
Yep, absolutely.
And the other one was Sean Chenoweth. And do you know why those two guys would always take the money? They were the only two late model drivers that would drive the outside lane of that racetrack and pass cars.
Steve Laking as well. He was an outside guy. Yep. Tim Cole, the 93 car, to the outside. He'd make up all kinds of hay. But we got cars coming out on track here at Penticton.
Yeah, pace cars out there, so looks like it's going to be the 43 on the inside of the front there. So that's going to be Doug Barrett. And then you got the 34 Now, the 34, we have the two 33s, right? So, yeah. But the other 33s in the other heat there, Jared. That's what I'm...
No, it was giving me the lineup so you didn't have to guess.
Yeah. And then the 31 of Ellie, she's going to be there. The 33X of Spencer Jorgensen outside of the second row. Then the 66 of Corey McGivern. The 52...
Garnet Grimard.
Yeah, Garnet Grimard. And then the 37, the 75, and the 11. The 11's your fast qualifier there. That's that Yanni. So Pacecar is going to let him go out there, get a little bit of heat into them.
Side by side. First time we've seen cars doubled up on this racetrack since we got here to Penticton. Watching the flag stand.
Looks like she's got a rolled up flag for one to go.
Sir, one to go.
One to go.
That pace car is going to duck down pit road here, and we are going to get loud, ladies and gentlemen. It's
25 lap. 25 lap heat race here.
Who are you taking in this one?
That
dogs
75, the 75. I have a feeling about the 75.
Jerry?
Yep, I have a feeling about the 75.
I got to think about this one for just a minute, but...
The 100-lap race, I'm hoping that these guys will realize that this is, although points, you got to be smart here.
Absolutely. Side by side, that front row still side by side. As we get lap number 2, I believe, complete. The 34 jumps out to the lead, Jerry, man.
The 66 of Corey McGivern follows right through.
Down the back straightaway, here they go. The 34 of Wayne Osborne still has the lead, but he is on the outside of the racetrack, doing it the long way around. As now the 66 is going to climb underneath him. As Corey McGilbrin tries to take that spot away, can't quite get there.
Take a look at that 75. It didn't take him long. He's already up in third place already.
Still the shower of sparks coming out from underneath that race car, too, as the 76
Oh, that's going to be tight.
Inside.
Three wide through 3 and 4.
And they made it work, which a lot of us weren't thinking they were going to do, but on the low side of the racetrack, Graham Cook, the number 75, pulls it up in. He's on the inside of as they come around turn 4 down the front straight, and the lead has changed hands. The number 75, Graham Cook, has taken the lead, and he is starting to run away quickly.
Now, speaking of climbing the ladder, look back, the Yanni man also up into that top 5 after starting dead last.
25 laps is not a lot of time, but there is some time for you to make your move, so you don't have to rush in this. And it looks like Yanni's just going to start picking them off one by one. He's definitely a fast car out there. Yanni's 75.
He needed them to get single file, and that's what we got right now. Single file with the 75 out front, the top 5, single file, and what, maybe a car, 2 car lengths in between.
Up in front, Graham Cook, and then number 75 continues to lead the way as we come into turns 1 and 2.
Now, what I'm noticing at the back of the pack there, you'll see the back markers who the leaders might come up on, and it looks like the 31 of Ellie Dunn is either got a tire rub. Looks like a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of that 31 car. You'll see it when it comes through the corner.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a tire rub on the left rear, but
lots of sparks out of the 75 that time, and he's coming up on the back markers now. Looks like he's going to opt to go the outside. No, he's going to try the inside.
Changed his mind right at the last second.
Looked like it worked for him. 43 car moving out of the way of the faster cars. Corey McGivern dive bombs down past him, and the 34 makes his way.
Garnet Gamard still running right up there.
The 52.
Yeah,
the 52 is holding his own there.
The battle right now is back in behind him. Is that 33 of Spencer, 33X Spencer Jorgensen. He's got quite the battle going with Yanni Kipros in that number 11 car because Kipros just can't find a way around him.
Well, he's probably just that quick. Now that 11 car, that was Joe's pick there for this race, and he's worked his way up. But now he's with the faster cars, and he will have to take some time to get around. And that Jorgensen is no slouch. So the 75 still in the lead. Garnet Grimard, the 52, still impressed with the 52.
As we said, some drivers like traffic, and Grimard's proven that one. He was not great in time trial, but boy, he is turning it on here in this qualifying heat race.
The 34 and the 66 with a little back marker race as well. Looks like the 34 is going to try an inside move on the 66 of Corey McGivern, but he's holding them off. Let's see what happens through 3 and 4.
Looked like McGivern decided to pinch him down a little in the corner there just to make sure he didn't get around him.
Not quite sure what lap we're on. We're getting lots of lap times, but we're not getting the lap count.
We'll have to watch for the flagman for the halfway point, but I would have to say it's probably coming pretty quick.
Yeah, I would say we've been clean and green through this one. The 75 car out front, followed by the 33, back to Yanniman in the 11. Grimard in 4th, and the 34 of Osborne back in the 5th slot.
So the 75 with a commanding lead now, just a ginormous, almost an entire back straightaway. So Graham Cook in the 75.
Yeah, Cook has got that thing cooking in the 75. He's really
now Yanni trying the inside move on Garnet Grimard, and it looks like he's going to take it here.
White flag.
White flag, so it's going to be the checkered flag for the 75 of Graham Cook. Looks like followed by the 33X of Spencer Jorgensen. And then the 11 of Yanni. Christos followed by the 52 of Garnet Grimard.
And that is heat race number 1 of 2 that is going to happen here tonight at Penticton Speedway.
So pretty good. They stayed all clean there. Didn't seem like a lot of rubbing, so everybody obviously racing wise, wanting to save themselves for the 100-lap feature.
And you picked the winner. Good job.
Well, rookie. It's just a rookie guess there. That's all that was.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. There were some exciting moments out there.
Oh yeah, there sure was.
The 3 wide part.
Well, I think the 11 of Yanni, he might have got a little closer to the front, but he got held up by a couple of guys that were racing side by side, and he just couldn't find a lane.
Well,
Graham made a great move on that one back marker there as well. It's a fantastic move where the other guys got caught in behind, and I think that's where he almost gained a half a straightaway lead. And with 4 laps left, there just wasn't enough time for the other cars to catch up. But
no,
a great race for Graham Cook in the 75 and everybody else. So now we're going to roll out the next heat here pretty quick. And we had the starting order for that one. Oh,
I didn't throw it.
On the pole of the second heat will be the 33. So that's going to be Jason Anderson. And on the outside of him will be the 6 of Dean Perry. The second row inside is going to be the 4W of Mike Oakes. And then outside him is the 54 of Bob Reichert. We then will have the third row inside is going to be the 01. Now that's the truck out of Grand Prairie, races at Hythe. That's going to be Chris Moore. Outside him is going to be the 91. That's Chris Bolio. And then we have the 67 of Billy Coles. on the inside of the last row with his second qualifying faster lap. Yeah, it was excellent. And then the 4 of Jeremy Smith. He was the second fast qualifier. So he has quite a large fan base actually just right in front of us here. So you can hear them cheer as they come by. They're cheering for the 0-4 and the 4. So now they're both showing up on the scoreboard for some reason. I saw just 2 4s up there.
They can't put a 0 on the board.
No, I know, but I thought that they said that it would show a 4W, I thought. So I think that's...
No letters.
No letters.
Nope.
No letters,
Straight up
no
numbers.
So it's just going to be 4 and 4.
You have to guess.
White or orange?
There we go. 0-1, the 4, the 4, the 6.
Well, we're looking for the 33 because...
And there's the 33 back in 5th on the board.
So we have a number of cars down here, and the pace cars got to pick them up because they're well out of order right now. I'm also noticing that the 37 is out in this heat, which they were supposed to be in heat 1 by the look of our starting lineup. So just a couple hiccups as the first race of the year goes off. But
He saw all the fast cars in the other one and thought he'd try his luck here.
Well, I guess maybe they might have been having an issue and they put him back out in this one. So I'm not sure where the 37 is going to fit in there, but it should be the 33, the 6, the 4, sorry, the 04, then the 54, the 01, the 91, the 67, the 4, and then do you just put the 37 at the back?
Yep.
Yep. Joe says yep.
To the back you go.
To the back you go.
As the cars circulate around here at Penticton Speedway.
It appears that they're pulling them back in to line them up. Because I think that they're well out of order. So what I think they're going to do is put them on the back of pit road.
Yep.
Behind the tents there. Point and go, you there, you there, you there, you there, you there. I'm not sure how many of these guys have radio communications. But the red flag is being waved by the flagman. And umbrellas are going up. I just noticed.
Oh, did ya? That's not what we wanted to hear. Is it humid, Rusty?
There is some rain falling, yes.
A little bit of humidity.
It's quite visible in the lights, so this might be a bit of a rain delay. So if you have your chance to come down and pick yourself up a cold beverage or come to one of the food vendors here, we have a burger place, we have a hot dog place, and
awesome
then we have
hot dogs, by the way.
one that's selling pastries. What were they called?
Beaver Tail.
Is that Beaver Tails?
Yep.
Yeah. So
yep. Beaver Tails.
come on down, take a break, grab yourself a bite to eat or a cold drink. This is going to be a bit of a delay, it looks like, because the track has definitely gone from its nice gray color to a much darker tone.
Yes, it definitely looks that way.
And the conference is underway as the weather turns.
Yes. Oh, it's good.
Have you ever met a promoter that doesn't have gray hair?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Well, unfortunately, the track manager, Jen, has
Yes.
come up to me and told me that they are going to call the event for the evening.
Ah.
By the look of the radar, this probably is not going to let up. So
this would be the tip of the
if you have
iceberg.
your ticket stub or your wristband for tonight, they will honor it for tomorrow, folks. So please keep that.
Now, that is a deal.
You will get your admission in tomorrow. So Thank you for coming out, and thank you for supporting racing here at Penticton Speedway. We appreciate you coming out. We apologize, but we can't help the weather. So remember, your ticket is valid tomorrow night for the Rattler 300. I was told by the track manager that your ticket will be honored for tomorrow.
Make sure you keep your ticket.
Your ticket, your wristband.
Whatever.
They may
you
have
got.
more information at the gate. It is a wristband, Jen. Leave your wristband on. So shower with it, bathe with it, sleep with it.
Yeah.
But it will be honored for tomorrow. So once again, thanks for coming out to Penticton Speedway. The gates will open up at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and we're hoping for much better weather, and we'll be able to get the 100-lap street stock race in, the qualifying for the super late models, as well as their big race, the Rattler 300.
So that is going to do it for us tonight, live on Racetime Radio from Penticton Speedway. You heard everything that Big Rusty has told us here, and we look forward to seeing absolutely everyone back here at the Speedway tomorrow for the historic Western Rattler 300. For Jerry, for
Stacy.
Stacy.
Let's use my name.
I'm Joe Chosen. We've got to thank Sue and Brenda back in the Racetime Radio studio for hooking us all up. But that is going to do it for us. The rain wins tonight, but it won't win tomorrow. We will. We'll see you then, all live on Racetime Radio. And don't forget, live on Rev TV as well. We will see you or hear from you again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.